Good evening, panel.
Hey, good evening to you, Bud.
Open up that envelope, if you will, in front of you and follow along with this first story. I, Jake Bellamy, must first of all admit that Jake Bellamy is not my real name. Actually, it is the pen name under which I write a monthly column in the women's fashion magazine, Glamour. I am wearing this mask because neither the magazine nor I want my 1.5 million readers to know what I actually look like. In my column, I emphasize what I consider the man's eye view of the problems confronting today's teenage girls and young married women. I touch on a wide range of topics, including how to give and receive compliments, what type of girl should wear a bikini, and how a young lady should go about getting a young man to ask her for a date. Recently, I devoted one of my columns to a personality test in the form of a psychological questionnaire. It drew over 12,000 letters. Most of my readers don't even know if I am a man or a woman. That question will be answered when I stand up after voting on tonight's program. Signed, Jake Bellamy. Panel, these three persons all claim to be Jake Bellamy. We'll start the questioning, if we may, with Tom Poston. Tom?
Thank you, Bud. Number one, what happens if when you get up and take your hat off, you really are a girl under all that? Because we can't tell from here.
I'll be surprised.
Number two, you're a lady, I presume, Jake Bellamy. What was the form of the psychological questions that you asked in your questionnaire?
Number two?
Number two, yes, I'm sorry. Number two.
They were rapid-fire relationship questions.
Thank you. Number three, do you have any people that write into you all the time?
Yes, we get numerous letters, 150 a week.
Thank you.
Peggy Katz.
Number three, I'd like to know how one goes about getting a mature man to ask you out on a date. Not too young. I mean, I'm not too young myself. What would your answer be to that, three?
Drop me a line.
I will. Number one, is your column not sort of a column on manners, actually?
No, it's everything.
Number two, do you think would Jake Bellamy, the real Jake Bellamy, think that it would be all right to entertain a man alone in your apartment, or, have a steak dinner and all like that there, huh?
Yes, definitely.
Unchaperoned. That's the day of the chaperone is over?
Orson Bean.
Well, number three, now, you presumably write a column which is the man's eye view of problems. Now, but it is meant to be read by young ladies, is that right?
That is correct.
Now, what do they care what your man's eye view is? I mean, do they write to you in order to find out what your opinion is? Is that what it means?
No, I think rather they use me as a sounding board.
All right. Now, number one, who should wear a bikini? Is it just these skinny little girls? If a lady has kind of dowager's hump or something, sure, I admit that you have to draw the line somewhere. But who should wear a bikini?
Thin girls.
Now, I happen to believe that the bikini...
Kitty Carlisle.
Now, I myself, I don't want to go into the details.
Number two, presumably you are a woman. How do you get the man's point of view? Do you have a husband?
Yes.
Does he tell you what to write?
Only no. I think a woman knows what a man's thinking and how a man thinks better than a man does himself.
Oh, really?
Sure
Number
she
one,
does.
how should one accept a compliment? Number one?
Gracefully.
Well, I mean, how? Do you say thank you or, oh...
That's it. Time for you now to mark your ballots. So please do so. Vote without any consultation whatsoever and without changing your ballot once you have marked it. Vote now for number one, number two, or number three. Of course, the team of challengers will receive $250 for every incorrect vote. Are all ballots marked?
Oh, yes.
Yes, they are. Very well. Tom, for whom did you vote?
Well, I voted for number one on the strength of the way the questions were answered, not by playing the game. I don't see why they would put somebody named Jake Bellamy on unless it were a girl. And number three, if he had been the real Jake Bellamy, he would have told Peggy that she was too still young when she said she wasn't, because she is.
Yeah,
That's right.
Well, now
Peggy
me.
Cass.
Well, I voted for number 1 because boy number 2, I don't think that girls know what men are thinking. They are a mystery cloaked in an enigma to me. And I thought 1 was very snappy. Well, that's the way I feel, that's all.
Horse and beans.
A mystery cloaked in an enigma.
That's a very...
Can't take you anywhere. I voted for number 1 on the grounds that his mask is very attractive, and if I were a young, beautiful girl, he could take me out. I don't know.
Kitty Carlisle.
I voted for number 2 because I do believe that quite often ladies know more about what a man is thinking. At least they know it before he knows it. And so I voted for number 2.
Did you hear that basso masculine groan from the audience?
All right, the votes are in. Excuse me, and the minds are solidly made up. We'll now find out which of these 3 persons is, in truth, Jake Bellamy. Will the real Jake Bellamy please stand up? Oh, you're really serious about not taking off his mask, eh?
Well, I couldn't be more serious in the world, bud.
All right. Well, now, number 2, will you tell us who you really are?
I'm Tom Poston's sister.
Gosh, my older sister on the show. How dare you say that women know what men are thinking better than they do, of all.
Rosalie Cassou is from Seabrook, Maryland, and her husband, Bert, is an officer of the Riggs National Bank in Washington, D.C. Surprised you a bit, didn't we, Tom?
I should say so.
All right, well, now, just for the fun of it, do any of the 4 of you know who number 3 might be?
Otto Preminger.
All right, then number 3, will you tell us who you really are?
I'm Peggy Cass's brother.
Hey! You! You're the one who said I wasn't young anymore.
I didn't say that. I said write me a letter.
Boy, we've been sitting on top of this one, I tell you, trying to keep it quiet for so long. Jerry Cass is the field sales manager for Mallory Battery Company, and we're awfully glad that both of you could come and really stump our so-called experts over here in their own particular way, sort of after the game. And in checking the score, we find, of course, that there was 1 incorrect vote in spite of everything, and that's worth $250 to you. Thanks again, all of you, and I hope your mask column is a great success. Goodbye, and God bless you.